What encouragement would you give to people? A lot of people who are on the periphery are panicked when something comes up and they don't know what's going to lie ahead. They don't know where they're going. How could you, or what would you say to them that would help them to move forward, to take that intention and go forward without fear? Because fear is one of the things that is sometimes a drawback for this. Do you have any insights that could be helpful to them? Anything that you would say, hey, move forward into the unknown?
You mean besides read my book?
Well, read your book is a good example.
Yeah, actually, my book is a good example. I think there's a lot of good things in there, but what I would say is that when people get frightened or concerned with their surroundings, what they really need to do is come to a stop, because they need to come to a stop and find their center. When we start reacting to our surroundings become more important than us. So the more we react to our surroundings, the more we get off track. And I'll tell you, there was a time when the stock market would crash and people would jump out of windows. Now when the stock market crashes, and true, this is bigger than the past, but now when the stock market crashes, people wait for it to get over. So it's kind of my example, like, you know, when you get kind of crazy or get kind of crazed or you get kind of fear-based, you need to come to a stop. You don't want to be making decisions from that perspective. So you want to come to a stop, find your center, and truthfully, innate intelligence is always there with insight. It's always available, and as we learn how to cultivate that important part of our life, it becomes even more available. I actually now live, I would say, 99% of my life in non-resistance, and while it's hard to understand, my life is taken care of me, by me, for me, and what I do is move on. Where there was a time when problems would become paramount or take my attention, one of the most recent things I've discovered is that problems, if you leave them alone, they'll go away on their own. They're just something in time moving on, and we get all caught up in them. Like this, the scale of the economic problems and the problems we have now, they're far more than economic. It's a leadership, it's a dysfunctional leadership problem is what we have, and economics is one of the ways it shows up. But this too will pass. And some people say, let it run its course. There's a lot of people who get hurt because there's too many people invested way into a system that actually doesn't work. And so it's crashing, and the question is, how do we let this system down without hurting everybody? And then if we're careful, how do we build a system that works? And you see, we're going to have to learn how to build a system where innate intelligence is part and parcel of how we go forward as a species. See, this is the transition we're in right now. This has always been talked about.